I'm going to show you how to sew around corners, sharp corners, because there is actually a technique. You need to understand how to sew around sharp corners when you're sewing your collar, your cuff, anything that, your pockets, anything that warrants you going from one sharp corner to another sharp corner. This is the trick to sewing around a sharp corner. Of course, you start off like you normally do on a straight line. Sew your few stitches. Don't forget to hold your thread. Reverse on the same spot. And then continue. Now, the trick is closer to when you get to the sharp point, you need to reduce your stitch length. You need to reduce it so that it makes that place a bit tighter and a bit more secure. So up until this point, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to reduce my stitch length to like 2, just to secure that point. And then I can navigate just by hand, like this, till I get to my point. So I think I'm at my point now. Then I lift my presser foot. Always make sure that before you lift your presser foot, your needle is down. Because if you move your needle and you try to continue, you're going to have an issue trying to navigate on that same point. It will shift. So leave your needle down like I have done. Turn your fabric. And to ensure that you are on the same line, you can see that you can see that the middle, the center here is aligning with that my line, and then you continue sewing like that with your 3 stitches, small stitches for a few centimeters, and then you can go back to your normal sewing. So that makes sure that that portion is tighter. And then let's continue sewing on that straight line. So you can see that I'm almost at another sharp corner. I will reduce my stitch length down to 2, go forward a few stitches till I get to my sharp point, like that. Leave my needle down, lift my foot, turn again, as you can see, turn and ensure that I'm still on the same line, like that, and then I continue on that straight line. When I'm happy, I move up back to my higher normal stitch length, and then I sew, and then the cycle continues until you are done. And remember, this might seem like, oh, it's a bit of a hassle and stuff like that, but when you are trying to push out your sharp corners, you don't want big spaces between your stitching. If you have a big space between your stitching, you will have an issue. If you accidentally go beyond the point, which is why I like to use my hand to navigate it, if you accidentally go beyond your point, just reverse a bit. So I'll reverse back to my point like that, and then I lift. That way I can unpick that without disturbing the rest of my stitching, and then I continue. Which way is better to use your hand to navigate it. And then of course you can see I'm still stitching, but I have increased my stitch length. I reduce again till I get to my sharp point and navigate with my hand. So even if it's like a maze, once you get the trick. Now you can see that I have my straight line back, but I'm back on the straight line, but it's not at the same point. So what will I do? I will go back to where I was sewing and take an extra stitch like that, so that it makes life easier for me when I turn and I ensure that I am on the exact line that I'm supposed to be sewing on. Right? And then I increase till, and remember, you need to follow your line. So you can see I'm almost out of line. I go back and I navigate. So sometimes when you're out of line, just lift your foot, but make sure your needle is down, and go back and navigate and ensure that the center of your foot is right where it is supposed to be. It might shift a little bit. So what will happen is when you get to the point where it's shifted, you will just unpick it and fix that place. Let me lift. Yes, I'm good. No, not quite. I'll move forward a little bit. And then yes, I'm back on my point, like that. Never forget to leave your needle down before you change. And then when I get to the end, I just reverse at the end, and I'm good to go. So that was the end of my line. And that is how to sew around a sharp corner. You can see that my stitches here are longer than closer, so that if I need to move or use a point turner to push out the curve, I will not break into the stitch. So the next thing I'm going to do now is we are going to learn how to sew around a curve.